Hello, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. I think it is 11:44, but we're going to get started because this program is always a longer one, and I want to be conscientious of everyone's time. So welcome to the Verona Chamber of Commerce annual State of the City presentation, or as I like to refer to it, the annual What is Mother Nature Going to Throw at Us this year. I far prefer this weather to the weather we had last year, for those of you who are here, with our winter snowstorm. But we appreciate you coming out today, and we have a very informative program for you. Right now I'm going to turn it over to Pastor Paul with Resurrection Lutheran Church, and we are very thankful for them allowing us to use their space, and it's a beautiful space, and he'll tell you more about it.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming here. As Lee mentioned, I'm Paul Shipman. I serve as a pastor over here, as well as in Monroe, and we're also currently helping out another church all the way down in Freeport, Illinois. I just thought for fun I would show you in the last 25 years what Resurrection has done in the community. These are all the different souls that we've been able to reach. As you can tell, there's quite a few. You can see a little hot spot down there in Monroe. We also daughtered a church in Mount Horeb called Good News, and you can kind of see all of that. You might ask, how in the world do you serve all those people? Well, we have a helicopter. This is just a sound check from Mara, by the way, so she's checking to see if your background noise levels. No, seriously, we're trying to figure out what we need to do to serve our community here, and so we were trying to work on some different ideas. Some are definitely eye-catching. Some of them maybe have no idea what we're doing. But in reality, we just wanted to see and know what our community is up to. And so what are we trying to do? We are actually trying to figure out, as a church, what can we do to serve the community here? And so we're consciously having a long-range planning committee. We're looking at maybe doing some work on our outside facilities, inside facilities. How can we be a blessing to the various people in our community? We have a play group that helps out. Families just come. There's just 15 families. Anybody can come at any time. Kids just play, have a good time here, make use of our space. We also are serving once a month our Verona area first responders and firefighters. They come over here. We make them breakfast, give them some donuts, coffee, just a place to get outside of the fire department. And then also, too, we very much like being active in the Verona area chamber community. We like helping out with all the different events that we can. And it's a privilege to be part of this community, privilege to be part of this event here today. And so thanks for allowing us to host. If you didn't realize, as you came in here today, the bathrooms are down the hall in case you do need to use those. Garbages are there in the back. We do have the air set at 68 about. If you want it a little cooler, we can drop it a little bit. Just raise your hand and we'll take care of that for you, I guess. Otherwise, I think everything else should be good for us here today. Like I said, just wanted to do a little bit of a welcome and sound check for Mara. And I hope that this day would be one that you were hoping for.
Thank you. And I believe you said that you would be wanting to do some tours afterwards, if anyone is interested in seeing this absolutely beautiful facility. We will get started. I will tell you I'm going to be mean today, so I have timers set on my phone for when each group is supposed to be finished. And then I will either come and yank you off by your sleeve, or maybe we will call Drea, the police dog, and have her chase you off. But we would like to keep to the schedule. If the presentation is over and they still have a couple of minutes and you have a brief, now maybe we need to get a dictionary to describe brief. But if you have a brief question, we can do that during their time period. If not, we're hoping that everybody will keep their questions until the end. That way, if there are some of you who really aren't interested in that deep detail, they can go ahead and leave while you get a more extensive explanation for your question. So we're going to move along in just a sec, I guess. And we're going to fly back to Sivertsen today with this. This is the Chamber's 2025 recap. We had an amazing year this past year, and we're looking forward to another wonderful year. But the Chamber has been thriving and getting stronger than ever. Let's And I would like to introduce my board of directors. My officers are President Wendy Jersa, Vice President Mark Hewitt, Secretary Jason Geiger, Treasurer Craig Schmidt, and Past President Cassie Gorski. And Craig and Jason are here. If you want to raise your hands. Okay. The rest of my board of directors is Corey Bott, Nick Burke, Dr. Tremayne Clardy, Charlie Egan, Jason Hunt, Sarah Host, Ken Cron, and Tara Osterholz. And let's see, we've got Dr. Clardy over here and Nick Burke over here. So, next up is my wonderful team, who we could not do any of this without them. And we have got our tourism coordinator, Anna Folman, who's back there waiting. We've got our marketing communications director, Molly Soley, who's going to be helping me in case my technology skills aren't that great. Our office manager, Amy Abbott, who you all checked in with. She might still be on the table. Our special events coordinator, Mona Cassis, and Jordan Hosking, who is doing sales and sponsorships for us this year. Apparently you have to have an A name, an M name, or be named Jordan to work for me. So, these are all of our new members in 2025. So as you can see, we are gaining with our membership each year, and we think it's fabulous when all these new businesses come to Verona, and we are thrilled that they think enough of our chamber to join us. And then we have had a lot of ribbon cuttings and ground breakings this year. As you can see, there's a whole string of them, and we're hoping to have more and more in 2026. We've also done our 10 networking lunches this year, which have gotten so popular that we've actually moved them out of the restaurants into the Badger Prairie Needs Network Kashetta Center so that we can accommodate more people, have better presentations with our speakers, being able to show PowerPoints, that type of thing, since we were outgrowing all the restaurants. However, when there is a new restaurant, we will go to the restaurant so that you have a chance to experience that restaurant during our networking lunches. We also still do all of our chamber happy hours. Those are a lot less formal. We don't require registrations for those. However, you can register. And our motto is, if 5 people come, you get to know people really well. If 25 people come, you meet a lot of people. And that would be me. Sorry. Hey, and it's Christmas music, and it still will be in July. So we go around and visit all of our bars and restaurants so that you can still experience those during our chamber social happy hours. Next up, we did start a backstage pass this past year, and we're very excited. We'll be scheduling more of these. This is a short video, 3 to 5 minute video, where you can get to see someplace that you might never get to see, or the back side of it that you wouldn't get to see. We've done ideal printing. We saw our directory coming off the presses. So if you're interested in scheduling one of those, let us know. We also started the Bagels and Business. This is an informal morning event where people can come in, see a business, talk to them about it, network a little bit. We bring in coffee and bagels, and those have been going well. If you'd like to schedule one of those at your business, let us know as well. And then, of course, the Chamber Mega Mixer, which has grown and grown and grown. Last year, we had 15 chambers from the surrounding area join us with 400 attendees. So we're very excited to keep hosting this, and it's a good way for all of the surrounding communities to get to know Verona better. Next up, these are our sponsors for the Mega Mixer. We are also, and our golf hunting, which sells out every year. We're a busy chamber. So our golf hunting is one of the best around. It's the most cost efficient, and it sells out every year. Registration will be opening after that pretty soon, so don't miss out. There's but we also do most of the community and family events here in town. I think most of you are all aware of. And here are some of the ones we've done. This spring extravaganza, which is also coming up. 1,500 children participate, 10,000 plus filled eggs. And here are our sponsors for that. And Verona Hometown Days, the 3-day festival, which is coming up in May. And our sponsors for that. Concerts in the Park, 10 concerts throughout the summer, every Thursday. Sponsors for that. Our Fall Fest, which the last 2 years has been nationally named to the top 10 USA Today best fall festivals in the country. We went from 9th to 7th last year. So that's an amazing event for Verona. And this is our Main Street trick-or-treating. And all the businesses on Main Street are able to hand out goodies, and any businesses not on Main Street set up a tent at the park there on Main Street, and that is fun. Oh, our hometown holidays. Some of the graphics aren't coming in. Anyway, everybody's aware of those. That's the tree lighting, and the chili supper that's over at the senior center, and the reindeer live that we do as well. Doesn't want to go forward. Okay, the events coming up in 2026 are listed here. We have all of our dates scheduled through 2026. And coming to Verona in 2026 are some of these businesses. We're excited about that and hope more and more are coming as well. And then we're looking forward to another, as I said, wonderful year. And last but not least, I would like to thank our partners, certainly Resurrection Basin Church for hosting us today, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the city and the school district, who work very, very well with us, and especially the Parks Department. That department is amazing. We could not do all of these free community events without the support of our members, local businesses, and our partners. So thanks for coming out, and feel free to volunteer at some of these events if you like. Thanks. Okay, next up, I'd like to introduce Mark Geller, Chair of Town of Verona. And Mark will tell us everything you need to know about the town.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, hello everyone, and thanks to Lee for inviting me again this year to, I hope after my short presentation you'll maybe have an appreciation for the town and what we bring to the Verona area and this part of Dane County. And sometimes people don't realize there's the city of Verona and the town of Verona, but really we're all part of the Verona community. And I'm just going to go into a little bit about how the town is a little bit unique and tell you a little bit about us. And hopefully you'll come away with the idea that we're really an asset and a benefit to all of you here and to the region. So, right now, we're in the town. We're in the town of Verona right now. You had to drive through the town to get here today. The church is in the township. There are some pockets of town throughout the city a little bit, but I'll show you some maps of what the town is made up of. But for the town of Verona, government-wise, our vision for the town of Verona is to maintain the town as an independent, financially sustainable, safe, and healthy rural community. And part of that vision that we developed includes our guiding principles. So as the board is faced with challenges and decision-makings, I'd like to always keep in mind our guiding principles, which these were adopted as part of our comprehensive land use plan. So it was a lot of citizen input, not just Mark Geller, the town chair, laying out these guidelines. But we like to create a welcoming and inclusive community. We provide efficient services, want to be fiscally responsible, anticipate and plan for growth, protect and enhance cultural and natural resources, maintain open and transparent government, and coordinate and collaborate with neighboring jurisdictions and key partners. Of course, City of Verona, City of Madison, City of Fitchburg, all neighboring municipalities, and of course Epic plays a big part of our who we like to cooperate with. Let's see. Who is the town? So the town was established in 1847. That makes us 179 years old. All towns throughout the state are established on 6 by 6 mile grids. So the original town was 36 square miles. Right now, per the 23 census data, our population in the township is 2,400 people. We're down to about 23 square miles. You can see the map has our sort of red dotted line, which is the original 6 by 6 town layout. And to the northeast is the city of Madison, of course in the center. Like all towns, cities grow from within the center of the original township. So you can see how city of Madison and city of Verona has grown over the last 179 years. And what is remaining, which is still 23 square miles of township. Within the town, we have approximately 970 houses. And those are made up of residential areas, mixed rural, some suburban, and smaller lot mixed urban. And we also have commercial corridors in the township. So our commercial corridors are along Nesbitt and Maple Grove and 151. So we do have a mixed bag in the township, and we're happy to have the variety that we do. Over 2,000 acres of the total land in town is public open space. So, you know, when I talk about the benefits of the township, the town of Verona has the most open space of any other town in Dane County. And I'll show you some maps of where all that is. But that provides a regional benefit for active and passive recreation. We all know about the bike riding and Sugar River, and just bird watching, wildlife, all the things that people appreciate about the country. Also groundwater recharge and conservation areas in the township. Who is the town? So the town of Verona has its own town government. It's comprised of a 5-member board, the town chair, myself, and 4 supervisors. We're all elected to 2-year terms. Part of the government also includes Plan Commission and Public Works. They're kind of the heavy lifters of committees in the township. Plan Commission is made up of 2 elected people. I'm the Plan Commission chair. We have 1 supervisor and then 3 residents who are on the Plan Commission. So it's really, you know, town government is like the city government. It's made up of residents who live here. Public Works, they decide the roads that need the most work, culverts, bridges, who needs the most attention, driveways, things like that. We also have a finance committee and a natural and recreation area committee, which NRAC is an important committee because of all of the open space that we have. In 2018, the town worked hard to develop a comprehensive plan, and in 2022, we adopted a land division and development ordinance. That ordinance requires conservation subdivisions with 30% reservation of open space. So, you know, our neighborhoods are a little different in terms of density, but we really keep in mind what is important to people who live in the town, which is having a little bit of sense of open space and appreciation for the countryside. So we really work hard on our comprehensive plan and land use. because you can see a 6 by 6 mile border that doesn't get any bigger. So land use is extremely important to us, and probably the thing that's on my mind more than anything is town share. We're also under Dane County zoning. There are zoning administrator. 99% of the time, Dane County supports all of the decisions that the town makes regarding land use. So we look at them as a good partner. Related to some of our new neighborhoods, for an example, the smallest lot that we allow under our new subdivision ordinance is 1.2 acres. So realtors, developers, finance folks in the audience might be interested in the lot sizes that we have. I like to talk about what is unique about town government. I'm just going to grab a bottle of water. Thanks. To me, town government is really the purest form of government. It's literally just residents like me. I've lived in the town for close to 40 years. The only house I've ever owned. Bought it when I was like 12. But it's the annual town meeting is unique to town government. Once a year, the third Tuesday in April, we have an annual meeting. And at that annual meeting, it's really run by town residents. The board isn't involved. The town residents come to the annual meeting and can make recommendations to the board, talk about things that they want the board to address. They have the power to make certain recommendations. They may want to give the chair a raise. That's something they could do, but it's really unique to towns. And once a year, we completely open the books. So at that time, the town sees the annual financial statement and audit. So it's just a really unique part of town government. I want to touch a little bit on, as I mentioned, land use in the town. The town's made up of agricultural lands. There's a fair amount of farmland preservation. Huge chunks of the township are in farmland preservation. And that's self-determined by the farmers themselves, whether they want to be in farmland preservation, but again, that adds to that open space feeling that you get when you drive through the town. Land uses in the town, again, it's a real priority for the township. As I mentioned, over 2,000 acres of public open space that the entire region enjoys. Badger Prairie Park, Prairie Moraine, Scheidegger, Madison School Forest, the Sugar River Wildlife Area, Moraine Kettles, the Sugar River Wildlife Area, and recently, this map here, the orange, shows the Falk Wells Park, where off of Sunset you can go all the way down to Paoli in that park. And now recently to the west, it's all interconnected all the way to the school forest. So in the last few years, Dane County has purchased more land, including the Durst Farm and the Reiner Farm. So all interconnected, which we all know is important to wildlife, to have interconnected open space. So we're extremely proud of the fact of how much open space, dedicated parkland, more than any other town in the county. So that's very important to the township. Other land uses in the town include the Ice Age Trail. The map on the right just shows the red line indicates the Ice Age Trail that goes north, south through the township. We're an Ice Age trail community. And one of the things that is a priority for us is, as we create some of our new neighborhoods, we're establishing easements through those neighborhoods to help connect the Ice Age trail even more. So we're helping to kind of connect the dots, get rid of the gaps in the trail when we create some neighborhoods. So those are set aside as easements. The Military Ridge Trail, of course, is in the town, Sugar River and Badger Mill Creek. So again, all of the open space and amenities that are enjoyed by the region are largely in the township. This is, again, a slide on land use. I mentioned how important it is for the town. This is just an example of our new subdivision ordinance, which says that all new neighborhoods will reserve 30% of land in open space and have a stewardship plan for management of that open space. And just about 100% of the time, that open space is prairie. So these neighborhoods are recreating and rebuilding the land back to having prairies in it. So as we develop these neighborhoods, prairies are being restored. We also have some urban residential. Hillside Heights is on Nesbitt Road. Goose Lake neighborhood is also on the southeast part of the town, and those are served by the town's town sanitary district. So we do have some sanitary in the town, not just all septic. This is just a shot of the town hall. The town board, as I mentioned, I'm the town chair and plan commission chair. I think I'm in my 12th year as chair and 15th year on the board. Tom Mathias, Dave Lonsdorf, Deb Hall, and Mike Durst are our supervisors. That's been a fairly consistent board, which I appreciate. They're 2-year terms, but all of the supervisors are in multiple terms. The staff, I'm very proud of our staff. Sari Gaskell is our administrator planner. Teresa Whitty is our clerk treasurer. Chris Barnes is our public works director. And Mark Chudd is in his 25th year as patrolman. And again, we've had great staff retention. These folks become known to all of our residents. And I think that's great. Hang on to good people. They become part of the community, and people know them and can call and talk and have a familiar face and voice. I always like to say that the town remains debt-free while continuing to provide quality services to residents. So the town carries no debt. We pay in full for equipment purchases, careful budgeting. Our road improvements are paid for. Of course, we use grants for bridge work and culvert repair. And every 10 years, all of our roads in the township, 40 miles or so, every 10 years we revisit a road. So it's on a 10-year cycle. So as all of you bike through the township, I hope you appreciate that the roads are in pretty good shape. Last year we approved a few new neighborhoods. They're called Frost Woods. That's on Verona Road. And Sugar River Vista is on the southwest part of the town. That'll start construction this spring. Regional cooperation, again, I like to reiterate how important we consider being part of the region. And of course, our town residents are served by Verona EMS, Verona Fire Department, Dane County Sheriff's Department, and we contract with the Senior Center for our seniors. The town also has a municipal court, which is at the town hall, and we share that with the town of Middleton. Land use, the city of Verona and the town of Verona have a boundary agreement, which creates a shared vision for growth. And I mentioned our conservation subdivision, which requires 30% of open space preservation. So I keep mentioning all of the open space, all of the parkland, everything that kind of the town is appreciated for that country feel. Transportation and utilities. Verona Road is something that we're working with Fitchburg on to rebuild Verona. Goose Lake, we're working with Fitchburg, Dane County, and MMSD. If you've ever driven down Verona Road after a recent rain, you might find that it was flooded. We're really working to eliminate that issue. And of course, we're part of the Madison Metropolitan Sewer District with our own sanitary district. Challenges in the township, again, are land use related. Towns can be annexed by neighboring municipalities. And when I speak of challenges in land use, this is per year how much land the town has lost through annexation. So in about 8 years, we've lost through annexation and by Dane County purchasing parks, 1,800 acres of the land. So of that 6x6 grid, that land is shrinking a little bit. We're 3 square miles in the last 8 years. The town has lost through annexation and park space. So the annual tax, this is always interesting. I won't belabor it, but most of the town that we lose to annexation is open farmland. So that's taxed at a much lower rate. And you can see of those 1,400 acres, the town was receiving $73,000. And as it's annexed, the municipality pays us back. But you can see that in 2026, just February of this year, we've lost 382 acres. That's epic land. The value of that 382 acres in terms of property tax dollars is $3,470. So I won't get into it too much, but that land obviously was not generating a lot of income for the township, but once it's converted to commercial, that's a lot of property tax that will be coming in. And so towns throughout the state sometimes are challenged by being a land bank, and this is a pretty good indication of what the definition of a land bank is. Again, challenges, extraterritorial jurisdiction, City of Verona, City of Madison, and City of Fitchburg. So we work under the laws of extraterritorial jurisdiction. The bottom line to that is we really don't control our own land when we fall into ATJs. So again, towns throughout the state have many challenges, but I hope you can appreciate the benefits of the township. The regional contribution, as I've been mentioning, the Ice Age Trail, the Terminal Moraine is featured at the Prairie Marine Park, and all the roads for cycling, the Ironman, of course, and many local annual races and triathlons. We actually are aware of those scheduled events, and we plan our road construction around them. So while we don't reap all the benefits that the region does for the Ice Age Trail, we're certainly a major contributor to the success of it. Again, contributions to the region, the Sugar River, Bashimo Creek, all the Dane County parklands, and the visual beauty of the town just outside of urban living. That's just a picture of the town hall. Very proud of it. I was part of the design of it as we built it. It's kind of a nod to our past, just a little bit about the architecture of it. It's meant to be like a modern barn, which acknowledges our dairy farmers' past in the township, and a nod to the future, and that it's got some contemporary feel for it. It's a great space, and I'd like to just close by mentioning that the community room is available for rental. So if you've ever been out there, it's a great spot. So I really want to thank you for listening to this, and I'll be around for any questions, and thanks again for having me.
Thank you. And it is a beautiful space. I have been out there, and this would probably be a good backstage pass for a 3 to 5 minute video, so people can see it. Next, I would like to welcome Mayor Diaz, Mayor of the City of Verona, and I think a lot of you are familiar with it because here it is.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's really great to be here. I'm going to do a quick, brief overview, and I'll try not to. I'll get this thing out first. I'll do a quick, brief overview. I'll try to keep it moving so we don't run into time. But what I want to talk about is what I see as Verona's biggest challenge. And right now, I think Verona's biggest challenge is dealing with success. And now I know that sounds like one of the things you say in a job interview when they ask, like, well, what's your biggest weakness? It's like, oh, I'm too successful. It sounds like nonsense, but truly, I think that's what we're dealing with the city of Verona. Like, at a most basic level, the city of Verona is a really great place to live. School system is excellent. There's a lot of great businesses, and they're creating a lot of jobs. That creates upward pressure on the housing market because people want to move here, and that makes housing really expensive. So that's a challenge right there. And then as part of that, the city allows home builders to build more homes and more neighborhoods for people, and that creates challenges with the city growing. The first one would be, how do we keep our sense of community as we have new neighborhoods come online? And I think that challenge also presents an opportunity in the sense that we can build new community spaces, sponsor community groups, whether it's the second sheet of ice at the ice arena or the Art House 360. So again, it's challenge and opportunity. Another potential challenge with all the growth, and it's not just growth in Verona, is more traffic. Like if you look just at the Main and Verona intersection, it's kind of a problem. And yeah, when the city was half the size and when the region wasn't growing, you could kind of get away with a sort of inefficient design at that intersection. Now that there's a ton of traffic coming through, it feels like it jams up, when school lets out, in the morning rush, in the evening rush. It feels like it's always full. And so this is, again, what I'm talking about is that Verona's really successful, the region's really successful, so we have a lot more people, and the things that used to work might not work anymore. And that's the challenge that the city has to meet. I feel like city staff's up for it, I feel like I'm up for it, but it's a challenge. So I just want to have everyone keep that in mind. If you have any thoughts on how we could meet these challenges, how we can improve, I would love to hear them. Or even if you just have feedback or just general problems you notice, I'd love to talk about city politics. But anyways, again, thank you for having me, and I will turn it over to Mr. Aulik.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate it. My name is Jamie Aulik, and I'm the city administrator of Hometown USA. And no offense to anyone in this room, but I have the best job in the room because I get to brag about that success that Verona is having. So let us dive in. Here we go. Here's our council. We have 4 districts, 2 alders representing each district. So those are the 8. Looking at kind of how the tax bills that you hopefully paid here in the last couple of months, how it breaks down in the city of Verona is 55% goes to the school district, quarter goes to the city, and then you see Dane County and MATC down there. This is pretty typical for a city. So 50, 25, 25, thereabouts, that's a typical breakdown for a city. If you were to look at a town tax bill, you see, because there's just less staff and less services, they don't have a police department, that corner over there would shrink down to about 19%, and then the school district would go up to about 62%. That's how a town tax bill would break down, but this is a typical city tax bill. All right, here's our budget. So all the wonderful services that we provide here at the City of Verona. We have a general fund, which pays for admin staff, police, things like that. There's our library. I see our director here today. Debt service, etc. So all the services that we provide at the city or pay for are represented here. This is the bar chart that Mayor Luke is talking about, where we are super successful. We are one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Wisconsin. So you'll see, go figure, right at the census, right? All of a sudden it jumped up about, 1,300 people. And then for the next 4 years, it grew about 800 people per year, year over year. And then this last one was about 450. So if you know anything about Wisconsin, this Dane County bubble that we're in is quite a nice bubble to be in. I came from a rural community at my last job, and this would be completely flat, or maybe very incremental growth. This explains the success, but also the challenges that we deal with at the city. Up nearly 48% from 2014, just amazing. Now this is really an indicator of success. This is what's called net new construction. Net new construction is the organic growth in a community. You net out what's been demoed, you add what's been constructed. We are number 4 in the state last year for net new construction. The only communities that beat us out were Milwaukee, Madison, and Mount Pleasant, which got their data center. So there you go. That's the only, and this is all sectors. This is residential, this is commercial, this is industrial. We are growing in every single sector. So that's a very high figure. It's the highest in Dane County per city. And because of that growth, there's more availability to share in the burden of taxes, right? So this is why our tax rate continues to drop for the city. So it went up just slightly year over year, 25 to 26, but that 4, it would be the envy of any other city in Dane County. So we have pretty low taxes here at the city. Employee recruitment, retention, what are we doing at the city to try and stay awesome? Well, we are hiring another building inspector right now because there is so much construction. We also have what's called a community resource specialist, which is a non-sworn officer who does like victim follow-ups, also does some code enforcement, things like that. So we created a position for that. We converted a caseworker into a licensed social worker at the senior center because there was a demand for services. We also started kind of a little bit of a mini engineering department where engineering techs are basically the people who go and inspect construction projects. So we're trying to not contract as much and bring more in-house. And it's cheaper to do that. And lastly, a part-time admin assistant in Public Works was added. Your employee retention. We found ourselves having a hard time recruiting for positions, in particular department directors. So one of the things that we did is we did a market study, brought ourselves up to market, and then the council was kind enough to pass it, and it's being implemented this year. So we stay competitive on our wages. Sustainability is a big priority at the city. So in 2025, we have put solar panels on the fire station and City Hall. And then we also have an EV vehicle for the building inspector and an associated charging station. And then in 2026, we have $60,000 more for solar panels, the building inspector, EV vehicle, and charging station, and then charge up Dane County. Excuse me, need some water. Too excited. There we go. So we have amazing things going on in Verona. We repurposed a former library into a community center, and there's plenty of renovations that were done in-house on that. We also had a lot of donations from the community. They stepped up and really helped us out. And then we also made updates to the ADA and security. And then in 2026, there's an after-school program. I really want to point that out. We have capacity for more people to enroll in after-school programs. You'll see what we've done in the police department, the senior center and library. We had our first citizen academy where I got tased voluntarily. So that was fun. But we also have a SRO now with the school district, and this is what Verona is really all about. These partnerships. You know, when you see something like that, that's awesome. And the chief kind of came by a little late to the party with the budget. He's like, hey, could you guys pay for the logos on the side? And we're like, sorry, chief, you're a little late, but if you can figure out how to do it, we're perfectly fine with it. So what did he do? He went and asked the school district, and they made this beautiful vehicle that you see riding around now in parades and events. So thank you very much. We also have implemented a Trucktober event, big truck event. So our DPW vehicles and things like that, fire trucks are out there. We also, at the senior center, added a pickleball court. We have a Trishaw bike program going now, which is amazing. That was a donation too. Thank you. And then lastly, this My Melody project with the Overture Center was really cool. Basically, a senior created a custom song in partnership with someone, an artist, and then it was based on their memories of their life. So how cool is that? And then lastly, the library. Stacy has the busiest library in like 6 counties, and they consistently have the highest number of books checked out. Their programming is just amazing. It's why they're so busy. So we just have an awesome library. And then lastly, they found birds were running into the glass, so anti-collision bird dots were installed. Such as that goes. Park improvements, just routine replacements on some equipment. We built the shelter at Epic Park. And then we also installed an accessible pier and kayak launch at Fireman's Park. And then this year, we're looking to replace a skate park. You'll see there's a community input meeting for that up on the slide. We also, another routine playground replacement at Tollefson. And then Arden Glen Park is going to get basketball and pickleball courts now, which is great. That's up on the north side off of PD. And lastly, there's prairie plantings along Highway M and the Ice Age National Scenic Trail. So we're always trying to improve things. Military Ridge State Trail, we are in the middle of replacing 3 bridges along the trail this year. So you're going to see some construction and trail closures coming down the pike. And then if we can, we'd pave it this year, but more likely next year it'll be completely paved. And so we'll have a nice kind of multi-use path going right through the center of our awesome city. So that's the goal. And then we can get kids safely to school using it, etc. So it's going to be a really great benefit to the city. Yep, with success comes the growing pains, right? Here's our construction projects this year. This one over here is for Aldi. This is going to be a cul-de-sac in here. I drive past this one every day. The SSM project, oh, Verona, your topography just loves bedrock, and it slows a lot of construction types down, so that's one of them. And then Country View Road redirection. There's construction going on over by Epic and things like that. And then lastly, behind the subway on Verona Avenue, we're continuing on with a project on Mark Drive. So that's what we've got going. And then I'll defer to Lucas. I was just at, while he's getting up here, I was just at a city administrator kind of conference, and one of the city administrators in the area is like, Jamie, how do you keep all this stuff straight and everything that's going on in Verona? And I can't. No one person could, but I have awesome coworkers who help me out, and Lucas is absolutely one of them. So thank you.
All right, thank you. So I'll be talking to the Planning and Development Director for the City of Verona. Been here a little over 2 years. One of the first things that I was asked to tackle was updating our comprehensive plan. As Chair Geller had mentioned in his presentation, the town had updated their comprehensive plan in 2018. The city's comprehensive plan, because of our growth, was severely out of date. And so that's one thing that we're tackling in our department. We started in late 2024. We are at the point where we're trying to wrap up a draft that could be presented to the public. The great thing about the comprehensive plan process in Verona is the community's been extremely engaged. And that's been a huge help in staff and the consulting team and the oversight committee in developing a plan that really addresses the true concerns and ideas of the community. It would be very difficult for staff or whoever's putting this together to come up with a plan that addresses all the challenges that we have without having that community support. So we very much appreciate that, and we hope the draft reflects what the community had stated. And just to give kind of an overview for those of you who are not familiar with the idea or concept of a comprehensive plan, it's essentially a land use development guide for the city. So when the council or the plan commission makes any important decisions on approving projects, approving roads, we look to the comprehensive plan as a 30-year vision for what the city wants to be and how it wants to grow. This is the project website, so if you're interested in learning more, you can visit the city's website and then link to our Envision Verona page. This is, you just do a search on our main page for comprehensive plan or Envision Verona, you can get there. Some of the projects in the planning process, so these are projects that have been submitted, proposed to the city, but have not yet been approved. We've got quite a few projects in the planning process. Some are actively moving forward, some are kind of on hold waiting for revisions. But I'll just go through a few of the larger ones. This is Main Street Station. This is a project that's located just north of kind of the current city, still within the city generally, but on the west side of Maine. Right now it's just a big open field next to Anakin Drive, on the other side of Anakin Drive. So this is largely an apartment development, but also would have some townhome units as well. So this received initial review, kind of a concept level design review with the Planning Commission and the council, and the applicant's currently working on revisions to that. Another project, actually just the property to the north of the project I was just describing. This is a senior living facility by Erdman. They're a local developer out of Madison. This would be sort of unique in that it combines both independent living, assisted living, memory care, and respite care. So it kind of incorporates all of those into one building, one development. So as someone progresses through those stages of their life, they don't have to move out of the facility. So this is, again, this will be actually probably going to the council within the next month for their preliminary approval. So because of the project type, this will have a more extensive review, but this is being approved in phases. Also in the same area, just to the kind of northwest of that site, this is part of the Whispering Coves subdivision, if you're familiar with that. So this is a proposal for a 3-story apartment building with residential parking below grade. This we anticipate will be coming in for a more formal review probably next month or two with this project, hopefully wanting to break ground later this summer. Some of the more specific residential projects, which are actually in the construction phase, Arden Glen. Many of you probably have driven by this. This is just on the north side of PD, kind of the northwest side of town. This is a Viridian Homes project. Viridian's done a few projects in town. This is their most recent one. They started this in 2023, I believe, and late 2023. They're in the 4th phase right now, so if there's a pointer on this or not. Oh, yeah, okay. So they're at the 4th phase right now, which gets them about right there. So they're a little over like a quarter of the way of developing this project. It's primarily single families, but also has some townhome units as well. This blue section over here is actually senior housing. So we know that's a much needed housing type in the city, and so that can hopefully accommodate some of that demand. This will probably be the next phase after phase 4. So you might see this come online sometime next year. This is another project on the south side of PD. I'm sure everyone's seen this. This is Apex at Verona. First phase has been completed. First phase was primarily some of the multifamily taller buildings. The second phase, their final phase, they're working on right now. That'll be mainly more of their kind of 2-story townhome units. And they've been getting occupancy on these pretty quickly. So the leasing has been great, and it's kind of sped up their construction schedule. This project, if you drive north on Main, just south of PD, you've probably seen they're doing some grading work out there right now. West Madison Bible Church is kind of if you're familiar with that. This is the project. West Madison Bible Church is staying, so they sold some of their land to this developer. So they're kind of developing around this project. Like I said, it's just beginning this year. They're doing public improvements, a lot of grading, and then probably late to midsummer, you might see some actual construction of the apartments. This is going to be a multi-year phase project, so we're probably looking at 3 to 4 years before this is kind of fully built out. So while we have a lot of construction, all of it's phased, so not all of it's going to be coming online at the same time. Sorry. Here we go. Also along Main, North Main, this is the former Monk site. They were approved, I think in 2023, reapproved last year to move forward. And they've got construction fencing up. They're going to be working on the demo here in the next couple of weeks. And so that'll be an active construction project. This is 60 apartment units and a little under 2,500 square feet of commercial on the first floor. If any of you are familiar with Sugar Creek Commons, this is kind of the last phase of the development of that project. This is at kind of right next to St. Denny's or St. Vincent Thrift Shop. So this was recently approved. No timeline on construction for this, but this is they are maintaining commercial on the first floor and then residential above. For some of our commercial projects, you kind of have too many to really get to in this presentation, but Epic, always doing a lot of construction, as I think everyone knows. Campus 6 is under construction. They'll ultimately have 5 office buildings and 1 food service building. I'm not a sci-fi fan, but some of you probably recognize some of these names. Liberty Business Park has quite a few projects going on right now, some that were recently completed, some that are kind of in the review process. This is the most recent approval that we've done in Liberty Business Park for Aldi. I've heard a lot of excitement from residents, including my wife, about Aldi coming to town. And what's cool about this is that this is their brand new concept. So I don't know if there's anything in the Midwest even that'll be like this store. So if any of you are familiar with the Wanakee store, that was recently completed. I think I had the grand opening a week or 2 ago. This is going to be a brand new concept. I think the interior will be roughly the same, like the formats, but some of the design will be kind of their new style. So that was really cool. And it was also great that they worked with us to kind of fit their standard design into what the city was looking for. And this will be at that corner of PD, kind of kitty corner to the Costco. So it's a site that I didn't think would be developed for quite a while. It's right next to the substation. So this is a really great use for that property. It's got destination traffic, so great use of that site. A few other projects in Liberty Business Park that have been approved. No tenants named for those and no construction plan, but essentially like a retail and service building of 9,000 square feet. And then I think this is my last slide. SSM, as Jamie talked about earlier on, if you drive by the site, you can kind of see the building starting to take shape, which is cool. SSM, I think, did a great job in working with the city to incorporate kind of a prairie design, and also work with us to install bird glass, because they do have a lot of glass on the building. And there'll be a lot of prairie grass in this area as well. And this is, they own a bunch of land in this area. This is their first construction project on that piece of land. They do have additional land, which they've indicated they're probably looking to do more of like a medical campus at, but this is their first project. And this is the 30,000 or 37,000 square foot medical clinic. So it won't be actually a hospital necessarily. I think that is it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And now, certainly last but not least, because I know everyone always has a lot of questions and always wants to know what the school district is doing, which is doing amazing. But here is Dr. Tremayne Clardy.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Tremayne Clardy, and it is my honor that every day I get to get up and serve this great community as the superintendent for the Verona Area School District, and it's an honor that I don't take lightly. The opportunity to serve nearly 6,000 students, 1,000 staff, and each community member, whether you have a child in our schools or not, because we know that great schools develop great communities, and we are appreciative of the partnership that we have and the appreciative of the ability to be able to serve in public education and be that great equalizer in society that public education is intended to be. I want to quickly introduce my staff here that's here supporting our work. You'll shortly hear from our Deputy Superintendent, Chad Wiese, our Public Information Officer, Marcy, who just mic'd me up. And we have Dr. Hawkins, who works in family and community engagement and also does our extended learning programs. So, 3 areas that we want to go into today. We want to talk about who we serve. We understand the big questions that we have about safety in our schools, which is always an important topic, and the importance of our community collaboration. I am the sole employee of a phenomenal 7-member board of education. They have been in place together as a team for going on almost 3 years now. And they're not just great leaders, they're just great human beings. And they all care about public education, they all care about the constituents that they serve, and I'm very proud to work under their leadership. That is led by Jen Murphy, who is in the center, in the middle, who serves as our board president. So our mission that you have in front of you at all the spaces in terms of our academic performance and our strategic framework is really all based around fulfilling our mission and fulfilling our equity statement. I always like to put into the space what we mean when we say equity, because I also recognize that often the word gets politicized into a space that we're not going into. When we say equity, we mean that we have to understand the needs of every individual child in our organization, and if there are barriers to that child accessing education, then it is our responsibility to remove that barrier. That's exactly what it means, and we don't try to make it anything else. But we are also not going to be in a space where we move away from that, because we understand that each parent, each caregiver expects us to remove any barrier to access that exists within our organization. And it's incumbent ethically for us to make sure that happens. Our strategic framework is built on 6 priority areas with student agency, value of belonging, community collaboration, wellness and mental health, and inclusive teaching and learning. And we do not look at these as separate priorities. These are things that each child deserves and our community deserves, and we provide all of these all at one time. And we don't look at them as section pieces or section priorities. When we talk about the Verona Area School District, sometimes this graphic is surprising to some, but it's not surprising to us because we are a relatively diverse school system. And that serves 57 countries represented. We have 57 spoken languages within our school district. 25% of our students receive a free or reduced lunch, and we serve 9% of our students have special education services through IEPs. We are very proud that each year we get more and more diverse in terms of our ethnic makeup and our racial makeup, with our fastest growing population being our Hispanic or Latino population that is now sitting at around 23% of the students that we serve. So again, very proud of that. Families are feeling very comfortable coming into our spaces, knowing that they'll be served and that we value our diversity. It's important for us to also look at the areas or municipalities that we serve. So here's a breakdown of the student population per the area within our municipalities. City of Verona having the highest population of 2937 in the town of Verona that we heard from earlier. Fitchburg is closely second with nearly 2,000 students served. We pull students from Madison. We serve Springdale, Montrose, and the city of Middleton as well. Also this year, we, as you've probably read in many publications, we've opened up our spaces because we do have space and to have open enrollment. We've got an open enrollment campaign that is going very, very well. And that is traditionally not something that the Verona Area School District has because of capacity issues, but we look to serve students that are outside of our boundaries as well. All right, here's what you expect from me as superintendent, and here's what we're proud to know that we do very well, and that's student achievement. You expect a world-class education if you enter our buildings and our facilities, and that's what we provide. We do this because we believe in disciplinary literacy as our universal strategy, and ensuring that every student, no matter what their circumstances are, has access to Wisconsin state standards or national state standards every classroom, every single day. We do this because predominantly you give us the gift of time. You give us the gift of time every Monday morning for allow our educators to come together and for professional learning communities to really learn and grow and dig into our data to serve every student. And that's not something we take lightly. You know, we look at our progress that we've made over the years, and that is really because you've allowed us to come together and practice our craft and become great educators and then serve our students in that capacity. That time that we provide on Mondays, that's non-negotiable. Because we dig into data, we dig into all our student outcomes, and we grow and learn as educators all together. We look at data every single day, and we provide a continuous improvement process, knowing that ultimately that while we're striving for perfection, we find excellence on that journey. And because we know we'll never be a perfect organization, but we do feel like we are an excellent organization. All right, so I've said a lot of words, but what are the impact? You see our annual academic report. Can you hold yours up for me right there? If you have one of those in front of you, just take it with you and take a look at it, because every year we are responsible to providing our community and our Board of Education all of our growth across all academic outcomes. Some of the things I want to highlight this year that we've been very impressive is if you look over in the corner around our AP exams, which stands for Advanced Placement. You'll notice that at Verona Area High School, 84% of our students that took it, or that's 1,285 AP exams, indicated a score of 3 or higher, which means that 84% passing rate of AP exams, which is at a national level. The Verona Area School District overall outscored all state AP test score averages and the global AP test score average in 21 of 33 courses, and that's national data. When we talk about us wanting to be the national model of excellence grounded in equity, this is some of the data that we're looking at. We're not just performing well on the state level, we perform highly on the national level as well. All right, that has allowed us to grow in our rankings across the state. This is my 5th year as superintendent of the Verona Area School District, and when we came in as an organization, we were on 47th. We've made progress each of the years from 24 to 21, now to the 14th best ranked school district in the state of Wisconsin. 14th is something that we're proud of, but I'm not really to celebrate yet because I feel like we can be number 1. And that's our goal, is to be the best school district in the state, and we will continue to be on that vision and on that pathway because of the great educators that serve our students. Before I pass it over to Chad, I want to give community recognition to 5 of our partners that received honors this year for their their partnership with the Verona Area School District as business partners. We'd like to celebrate Epic, Miller & Sons, which I saw representation from Miller & Sons back here. The Verona Area Chamber of Commerce was awarded. Thank you, Lee. The Verona Press and the Fitchburg Chamber of Commerce were also celebrated by the Wisconsin Association for School Businesses as great partners in education. So thank you all for that collaboration. Please give them a round of applause. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chad, and we're going to transition over to the operations side of the house now that I covered the academics. As we do with anything on the operations side of the house, we want to begin with our safety and our safety protocols to make sure that every student that comes into our space goes home safe every single day. So I'll turn that over to Chad.
Booting here too, or not? Hey everybody, Chad Wiese. I'm the Deputy Superintendent for the school district, kind of Jamie's counterpart in the world of the Verona Area School District. I've got a few updates for you today. Historically, the last 2 or 3 years, we've discussed land acquisition and our long-range facilities plan related to growth. We thought we'd pivot a little bit this year and concentrate on work we're doing with community partners to keep our schools safe. At the end of the day, a safe school and safe community for me is a bedrock to have actually a thriving school and a thriving community. It would be impossible if we didn't have partners from both Fitchburg and the city of Verona. I wanted to clarify one thing Jamie said before. There is that nice used squad car, Jamie. And it almost made it sound like we popped for the whole car. We paid for some details. So we are just as strapped as the city is when it comes to making ends meet at the end of the year, but we're certainly proud of how that all turned out. We've got Officer Brad Stoll, who came back into our school district after kind of a hiatus with having school resource officers. It has been an amazing success. We'll share a little bit more about that a little bit later here. So here's Officer Stoll. He's been now with us for a little bit over a semester. Just took us a little bit to get here. So certainly thank you. I've got Jeremy Hatfield with me there and Chief Dave Dresser. And it took a year or two for us to have conversations around bringing an SRO in Dane County. That takes a little bit of work and a little bit of trust, and we're super happy with how it's gone. Brad has been absolutely outstanding. Our kids love him and has been a welcome community partner, in particular at our high school, but all of our schools in Verona. I wanted to spend a little bit of time on some of the work we're doing related to school safety, and more than anything, let you know, and I'm sure Jamie would say the same thing, if you have a business of any size, And this is kind of sitting on the back burner in terms of you having a safety plan at your place of business. Know that the school district's a resource. We do this all the time. Sadly, it is a part of the work we have to do as a school district is make sure our students are safe. This is kind of a refreshed safety protocol we put in place this year, primarily because the majority of the school districts in Dane County are using this safety protocol. It's called I Love You Guys. If you want to write that down, it is a nonprofit national organization that specializes in safety protocols, in particular for schools. But there's a bunch of this that would be applicable for a business. And we have worked hard to make sure all of our staff and community members are trained on this protocol. It wouldn't be worth a hill of beans if we didn't have first responders that were on board to understand what we're doing in schools to keep everybody safe on a daily basis. This is just a picture of us drilling. We're actually out in the town at the town facility working on reunification. Again, I would encourage you, if you have a business and there's a day that you have to close a business and you've got 50 people employed there, what's that look like if you have a water main break and had to move everybody to a new site to make sure you've got a plan in place? It's a whole different animal in our school district. In the event that we had to close down the high school, where we've got over 2,000 people there right now, that we have to be their caregivers until the end of the school day. We have to have a plan in place to move 2,000 people, bring families to a different location, and then reunify them with their families. It would be a very bad day for all of us. We'd get through it. But in the end, if you don't do planning to make sure it goes as smoothly as possible, it would be an even worse day. So that was us planning there. You've got Chief Dresser right in the mix doing the training with us. Again, thanks to all of our community partners. Did want to call out on an annual basis, we survey our students around a whole bunch of things in terms of academics. Is your school clean? Do you feel safe? It's quite a long survey, but there are safety questions. And we're happy to say that our high school student body reported a 17% increase in terms of them feeling safe at school. And we do believe a lot of the work we're doing around safety training, but also having Officer Stoll walking the floors every day has certainly helped. And we're proud of that increase in terms of our students feeling safe every day. As I kind of wrap things up, I want to close things with a few different items we're working on related to community collaboration. We are excited. We are close to, we believe, bringing a Miracle League of Dane County field to our own school district. So just to the west of Sugar Creek, we are close to signing a lease with Miracle League that the Rotary Club of West Madison and Middleton are going to partner with Miracle League of Dane County to build a Miracle League field. So I don't know if all of you are familiar with what that is. Not going to get into a great deal, but essentially it's a fully accessible field that we have students with accessibility needs can play baseball, t-ball, softball, and it will be an amazing asset for the city of Verona when that's all done. Certainly wanted to call out the Verona Area Education Foundation and all the great work they do. On the visual side, I think we do the annual banners around the city, but also there's a number of micro grants and small grants that they provide kind of in the moment needs for our classrooms. Jamie mentioned the work the city is doing with sustainability. If you Google Sustain Verona, we have an ongoing campaign to eventually put $500,000 of solar panels on our high school. So Dave Lonsdorf, who I think is a board member in the town, is leading that project. I have a call with Dave Friday for an update on that project, so we're also excited about that. And I'm going to close with this. We slipped this one in on Dr. C. So Dr. Clardy and I and Marcy have kind of been on the banquet tour for the last month with our superintendent, proud of propping him up and recognizing him for the amazing work he's done in our school district. Dr. Clardy was just recognized in Nashville last week with only 49 other Superintendents of the Year. Could not be a more deserving person. I think you've seen that with even some of the growth we've had in his short tenure here. Super proud to reintroduce you to your very own Superintendent of the Year to close it out, Dr. C.
I had guys to figure out how to slip these slides in without me seeing it, so I'll have to figure out their check. But I keep talking about this award and make sure that I want to put it to the space so we can give it to the that this is definitely a collective award, and this is representative of the great work that we all do together. The city, the town, our constituents, everyone that I serve. I am a service-based leader, and I always want to make sure that's at the forefront of our minds, that this is all service to others. And I want to thank everyone that's been a part of this journey and to continue to elevate the greatness of the Verona Area School District and everything that Verona has to offer. So my congratulations goes to you, and I really want to thank everyone in this room for that partnership. So thank you all.
Thank you. We appreciate all of our speakers coming out and giving such an informative presentation for us. Now, we do have time for questions, because I know some of you will have questions. So, if you have a question, why don't you raise your hand, we will try to repeat it so that we make sure it gets onto tape, because Mara is taping this entire presentation, and we'll be editing it together with the slide presentation so that it's available for you to go back and look if there's something you think you missed, or if you know someone that wasn't here and would like to see it. So, anybody have any questions? And then we'll give the mic to whoever needs to answer. Jason.
Jason Bagger, I have a question, maybe for Mark Miller, maybe for the city, but just curious, like the Nesbitt Road area, town of Verona, Nesbitt Road area, town of Verona, it's kind of odd area, right? You got town of Verona, you got Madison coming together, you got city. Just curious what the long-term plan with that area is, as far as like little bit annex, redevelopment opportunities. Madison County, or County Materials, is vacated that space, and they're kind of driving up and down there. I'm just kind of curious what the long-term plan would be.
That Nesbitt Road, County Materials, is in our commercial land use map, and we certainly intend to keep it in the town of Verona, and we would like to see it commercially redeveloped.
Okay, other questions? Wow, we usually have a lot of questions when I let people go. I just was going to ask all the questions today.
This one's for Lucas. Just with all the development and apartments that we see popping up, being in real estate, state of Wisconsin, we keep talking about kind of the missing middle as far as diversity in housing. And I know we have apartments for a lot of young people getting, renting. But we struggle a little bit with homes that are affordable for first-time buyers, or maybe young families. And I know like the town of Verona's got a lot of, basically every lot in the town of Verona is $1 million development, $1 million home. So really like the city, as far as I'm just curious if there's any work to try to make something like have more diversity in housing. That's one of my questions. I want to also ask about the vacancy rates. Do you have any idea what the vacancy rate is in Verona with all these apartments going up?
Thank you. For your first question, so diversity in housing is something that we're really focusing on in our comprehensive plan update. So some of the things that, in terms of diversity in housing, with Arctic Glen, also the Cathedral Point, what's a Cathedral Point, you probably notice on those developments, you've got smaller lots, smaller than the city would typically approve. And it's one of many ways in which you can hopefully produce some units that are more affordable. We're also looking at not only, I guess, taking a step back, single-family homes, aren't necessarily the only way for a young family to be able to live in Verona. A lot of the multi-family projects that we have, the mid-density projects we have, a lot of the development is looking for studio and one bedroom to really cater to the Epic employees moving to the area. But one of the things that we're looking at is also requiring those developments to have 2 and 3 bedroom units as well. Because there's many, as you know, just anecdotally, we know that there are families living in multifamily apartment buildings. And that's a way that they can still live in the community and hopefully still afford. And then kind of just globally, or just from a broader macro level, we're looking at just the more housing we build to accommodate the demand. That's in a sense allowing, or I guess maybe not decreasing the cost because that's market driven, but we're allowing there to be more supply, which will hopefully eventually reduce prices. What we don't want to do is stop residential development because that's just going to increase prices even more. And then,
Vacancy rates.
Vacancy rates. Yeah, there's I wouldn't say there's any one highly credible source of vacancy rates. I've tried to calculate vacancy rates for 20 years, and there's unless you're there's certain niche companies that really all they focus on is doing market studies, and all their clients are essentially giving them the information of what their occupancies are. And so they use that in turn to provide market reports. That's probably your best data out there. There's no census information, government information that's going to be highly reliable. And especially for apartment buildings, because you can't just go out and look at for sale signs. It's much more difficult to get that information. But the kind of obvious thing is developers know their business, and if they're building more homes, that means vacancies are low.
To follow up with what Jason was saying, as a lifelong renter, and I'm 50, who's worked multiple jobs their whole life and was a single mom, I'm always going to be renting the rest of my life because homeownership is probably not anywhere in my budget range. However, everything I see that's going up is luxury. There's either affordable or there's luxury. How much effort is being put into something the rest of us can afford?
Yeah, that's a great question. Housing, the way housing is built, it's either market rate or it's subsidized. Meaning subsidized either through the state level or local level. We do have, the city has put aside money through our tax increment financing districts. We're allowed by law to put 1% of the money we get from, I should say that the last year of the, it's complicated, but essentially we do have money, and we have used some of that money to help support affordable housing in the city. But what you're getting at, I think, is kind of the in-between. And unfortunately, there's no one great answer or solution to that. There's no mechanism, there's no legal process for allowing or requiring that type of development. The state of Wisconsin is somewhat unique in that inclusionary zoning is actually prohibited. So by law, in the state of Wisconsin, you cannot require developers to provide affordable or more affordable housing. And that's a struggle in the state of Wisconsin for sure. And unfortunately, until that state law changes, the city is going to be relying upon finding creative ways to allow developers and who are building these projects to offer less, or actually more affordable units. Otherwise, it's market rate, or you do have the ability to subsidize, but there's also rules that come with that. And it's difficult to provide housing through subsidies for your average family. Usually you have to provide that housing to people who are making under a certain threshold.
Yeah, Lucas, I'll just add that, I mean, you already said it, I mean, the only way to do that is increase supply. So the more housing, all housing is good housing, and the more supply we have, that's all you can really do is increase, supply, and hopefully that whole thing will come down and balance out over time.
And also, providing any type of housing, no matter what price level it's at, there's ways, if you don't have enough luxury housing in your community, and you have all the higher income people taking the housing, which would otherwise be affordable to someone who's making an average income, it's still, in a way, it's still benefiting providing affordability.
I'll be in Bulk, so I'll buy that. You can afford 55
Another more questions? I'm aging myself. I'm doing my Phil Donahue thing.
I have a question for Dr. Clardy and team. The open enrollment push came as actually a little bit of a surprise. I've been a parent in the district for years, and my kids have had friends who have not been able to return to school year to year because of the cuts. So what has changed that has allowed that to open back up?
Yeah. You're hoping we read that because that's the messaging probably is a little mismatched right now because you hear about all the houses and things that are coming up in apartment complexes, but they're not producing kids. So, for example, if you see a apartment complex, it takes about 10 to 11 units for one kid to come out of an apartment complex. And so originally we were looking at, and even rooftops, which used to be around 2.3, I don't know whether a kid is, but it was about 2.3, is down to 1 and a little change. So the calculations that were formerly used to try to guess what the future of growth would be in enrollment based off rooftops is no longer the methodology. So we saw some smaller cohorts of students coming in, it's 4K, K, and a little bit of 1 as well. But okay, we've seen enough evidence now to know that we are not going to over capacity our buildings by not having open enrollment and just did our calculations a little bit differently, and that is what opened up the slots that we weren't as worried about having to build a new school because we filled the school. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a declining enrollment. It's surprising. It's surprising to us sitting here. The last 2 years, our school district's gone down in terms of the number of students who actually.
Okay, any more questions? Don't be shy. All right, going once. Going twice. Thank you again for coming to our annual State of the City, and thank you to all our visitors. Thank you to Resurrection Church for hosting us. It is amazing, the space and all the help they give us, so thank you. We look forward to seeing you again next year, and keep coming to all of our chamber events. We are stronger because of you.